Hello, everybody. Grady Polson here, Family First Life America team call. Been a fantastic week. Excited to be here with you. Got a bunch of people in the office. A lot of people tuning in online. A lot of people joining us. So it's going to be a pretty fantastic call. The guest speaker, guest trainer we have coming on has been with Family First Life for 11 days and has submitted somewhere in the neighborhood of $20-something thousand the last 7 days. She did 15,000. So if you're on this, lean in. She's going to teach you what she does. If some of your agents aren't on this, use your thumbs, text them up, tell them to get on here and join us because it's going to be a fantastic call. Can't wait for you to meet her. Before we jump into the training, I want to thank everybody real quick. Make sure this is one of the, kind of the continual parts about our business is getting our submit numbers in each week. So when you see the number for this week, you're going to go, holy, good job. But what I want to do is I want to thank you all. And I want to start us to move down this process of two sort of different team philosophies. One is in regards to hiring, and I'll touch on that in a second. But two is submit numbers, right? Too often, so let me back up. Jade, our assistant, my assistant, she spends hours making sure everybody gets recognized for their sales for the previous 7 days. She wakes up at literally like 5 a.m. and starts going through the submit form. She scrapes Slack, she scrapes our main carriers and makes sure that you guys all get recognized because that's an important part of this business. If you make a sale, you protect the family, if you make a commission, we want to love on you. We want to tell you great job. But what happened last night is different than what's happened most nights is that everybody on our entire team submitted before midnight. Everybody. Which makes it very easy for Jade when she wakes up at 5 a.m. to not have to, someone texts me and says, oh, I just submitted, I forgot. Or, hey, one of my top agents was lazy and forgot. And it's a very frustrating morning to have to deal with all the time because I really want to love on and recognize everybody for their sales. But then having to remind adults to do what they're supposed to do, it can be a very frustrating part of the business. So I want to applaud you all because there was something like 100 people from other teams that submitted after midnight, and all of us got it done beforehand. So that's an applause to all of us. Let's start to kind of move this as just our normal process. We get our numbers, we finish our last appointment, we finish we don't run Wednesday, whatever. You get your numbers in before midnight on Wednesday, and it makes it very easy for us to kind of collect the numbers. We even got an email back from corporate saying, thank you. We are continuously the first team who submits their numbers to corporate every single week. So that's a testament to you guys and a testament to us starting to move down this new process. So without further ado, let's talk about how we all did this past 7 days. And this past week was not a week was an impressive week. It was our best week we've had so far as a team. A testament to coming out of convention, a testament to people increasing their education, increasing their confidence, increasing their skill set, believing more in themselves by buying more leads, believing in themselves and getting in the home and challenging the client more. And congratulations to everybody. 66 people on our team wrote business in the past 7 days, 265 applications for $322,028 annual premium. That is a significant income for 1 week. If you do the math, this is a $15 million run rate. So it's a testament to everybody, right? We've got a lot of good processes. A lot of people work hard. We treat each other well. We respect each other. We care about each other. And great job, everyone. Shout out to the 5 new agents who made the leaderboard for the first time. Mark H, $585. Nelisha W, $963. Jeff G, $1,416. Andrea V, 3 apps for $2,458. And Shay C, 4 apps for $7,033. So what's the goal for all new agents, right? We talk about this every single week. Or what's the goal for all new business owners? If you heard that call that Jordan, Julius, and I did on Monday, we dug really deep into this. And if you missed that call, the Monday National Agency call, you can scroll up in Slack and you can see, you can listen to that recording. Julius and Jordan were fantastic. Gave a lot of high-level training on how to take your business from where it is to where you want it to go. But the goal for all you 5, you got one goal. This is it. Stay in business. That means be on this leaderboard next week and be on this leaderboard the week after that. And now you start to set a process of consistency, and consistency puts you in a position where now you can really start to make consistent income, which now you can actually really start to change your life, your family's life, and accomplish the goals you have set out for yourself. So great to everybody. Now let's shout out everybody who did over 4,000, 24 people in a 7-week period. This is by far our best week as a team. So great to everybody. John L, 2 apps, 4,120. Jam F, 4 apps, 4,433. Leonardo R, 3 apps for 4,730. Nina D, 7 apps for 4,772. Jonathan S, I believe he's brand new. That's Alex's brother. So talk about warm market recruiting. I don't think it gets much warmer than the guy you grew up with. So good job, Jonathan Straight, man. 4 apps for 4,958. Josh M, 6 apps, 5,128. Sean T, 5 apps, 5,184. Douglas Angle, good job, buddy. 8 apps, 5,764. Jordan L, leading by example, 4 apps, 6,328. Genevieve O, 10 apps, 6,899. Shay C, brand new agent, 4 apps, 733. Clay S, sales manager, 6 apps for 7,063. Ashlyn F, rocking in Northern Arizona, 10 apps for 7,478. Alvester C, 3 apps for 8,299. Ashley G, 6 apps for 8,328. She had a banner weekend. Top producers run the weekend. So if you're considering taking this weekend off, just consider yourself making less money. It's a proven fact that if you run the weekends where clients are going to be home, they're going to be in a better mood, and you have a greater chance of putting some protection in place for them and their families. Ashley G, 6 apps, 8,328. Gabriel H, 10 apps, 8,675. Gage P, continuing to crush it at the top of the leaderboard, 12 apps, 9,230. Vice President Julius G, 9 apps, 9,950. Brittany H, 9 apps, 10,636. So 6 agents over 10,000. Alan G, 7 apps, 10,889. Deidra S, brand new agent. You'll hear from her in a minute. 18 apps. She's got at the Barrow Hand Institute right now because she's got carpal tunnel. 18 apps for 15,358. Marianne M, 1 app, 17,228. Alexander Straight, leading by example. 6 apps for 34,216. And Aline M out of Houston, Texas. Good job. 3 apps for $45,813. Great job. So I want to draw attention to the top 3 people on this leaderboard. Those are annuities and IULs. And so what I want to talk about for a second is if you been with us for a month or 2 or so, the 2 weeks leading up to convention, what we did is we focused on learning about, we had a 7-tip training series that dripped out over 2 weeks, 12 to 30-minute videos. And the people that watched it, you're starting to see people that are having a greater awareness of IUL and fixed index annuity products. What's the value of those? They're products we can sell with our life insurance license. They don't require 6 and 63 and SEC designations and all these things that, to manage money, don't require that. We have an availability to a bunch of fantastic products just by using our life insurance license. And so leading up to convention, a good 30% of convention talked about IUL and annuity type products where we run into a client, we run into Dolores, or we run into John, and he's got 500,000 sitting in an old 401k and he just retired and he thinks he should leave it with Edward Jones and risk the market going up and down. We say, hey, how about we check out an annuity type product that's going to lock in that money, pay you a monthly income stream for the rest of your life. And hey, if you die, it's going to pay a significant amount more in a death benefit. And that's what people are really looking for. So as you start to progress in your career with us, because this is a career, this isn't a chop shop meat market. This is something where you can build up a client base. Myself, I have over 1,000 clients now. Crazy to say that 1,000 people have said, yes, Grady, sounds great. We trust you. And we'd love you handle our insurance needs. Send them thank you cards. I do annual reviews of them. And that's what's cool is I've created a book of business. A lot of our top producers, a lot of our up and coming producers are creating a book of business. Gage and Deidra with 12 and 18 clients now have clients that think about them when they think about their life insurance needs. And that's a powerful place to be someone that is trusted. So, but moving down that path, what's your bigger goal, right? Income, of course, right? But also putting the client in the best situation. IULs are fantastic investment grade life insurance products, as well as fixed index annuities are a great place for people to put their money to not risk the downturns of the market. So in addition to all of that, what we did is and we haven't even announced this yet, or we've maybe announced it, maybe people have just seen it. Where am I trying to go here? We have a web on our team training website. Let me find my thing, sorry for the delay. We have on FFL America, which is our team's go-to resource website, FFL America, where many of you have learned a ton. I learn a ton. I go there, and when I'm struggling and I revisit old trainings and I just watch and I re-go, oh, that's what happened. I didn't say that. And that's why Paul McLean sells $500,000 a year. So I'm going to start saying that and I get better. So come back in here. But one of the things we did, we recently added an advanced markets training tab. And spoiler alert, we took the 7 tips that led up to convention and we put them on a website because they're excellent tips to get educated on IUL. Sean Ruggiero going into Annuities 101. Grady, I see the big commissions, right? So here's an example. Say it's a $500,000 annuity. You take that money, client is unknowing. They just worked at the school for 47 years and they retired and they've got this money and they don't know what to do with it. Well, you know what you can do? You can help them put that money in IUL. Say it's 500,000. You're going to make, if you move it and it's going to be protected for them, about 5%. So you're going to get a $25,000 commission check just for helping Dolores put her money in a better, safer position. Kind of cool, right? I mean, the upside of annuities, the upside of fixed index annuities, all of our top producers dabble in these things, and this is where you can start to take your business. So go here and start to study these things. Get familiar with the words, get familiar with this. I mean, smart people educate themselves continuously so you can learn about Annuities 101. You can go down here. Important thing, go log into the corporate FFL AMS training. There's a continual training every Thursday that you can educate yourself continuously on annuities and IUL type products. And then down here, we took a lot of, John Gavin, Julius, our top annuity producer, references to what John Gavin teaches in this 11-minute training video every time he sells an annuity, and he's a pretty good closer on annuities. So I would recommend watching this. Matt Smith Annuities, Matt Smith's our #1 all-time producer at Family First Life, and he teaches you how he finds annuities and what he says to clients to help them understand the value of them. David Allen, last year's #1 annuity producer, has already this year done over $256,000 in annuities. There's a lot of money here. So this is training he did for us, breaking down how he sells them, corporate teaching, have the in-home presentation, and then index universal life type products. So IUL is 101, and they're just different. So the simplicity of these two main things is if someone's got a lot of money, you're going to protect it, you're going to use an annuity. If someone's making money and they want to save for retirement, you're going to use an IUL. So they're different, but that's pretty simple, right? So it makes a lot of sense. So that's a big thing. But if you want to submit, like Aline did a $44,000 IUL, and Alexander Strait moved $300,000. That's why their submit numbers are so high, because they learned these products, they got confident with them, they continue to educate themselves on a weekly basis, and now they're starting to make money. They're starting to make rapper money. So like it's a whole ocean of money. And we're here to teach you how to do it. We're here to support you, whatever level you want to do. You're still intimidated. You're still trying to learn the in-home. You're still trying to learn the phone script. I get it. But it's all here, right? That's what we did 221 million last year. That's what we're going to do 400 million this year, because we continue to educate our agents and put them in a place to win. So a couple more things I wanted to touch on today. This is something cool that just happened. Oh, let me find it. I got to give him love. Too many screens open. Sorry, guys. Here it is. Okay. We have as far as agency building goes, your goal is to start to, 1, hire yourself, right? Get all in on FFL and put yourself in a position where you're confident in your sales. Step 2, introduce us to a few people. You don't want to hire anybody, don't do it. It's not required, it's not mandatory, but for myself, I did $14,000 my first month, more money I ever made in my whole life. Second month, I did $8,000 because my first month I did more money than I ever did in my whole life. My wife beat the hell out of me and said that we didn't change this new career for you to start making less money your second month in. And my third month, I made $31,000, and my life has never been the same. Never looked back. Sacrifice. But after that, I started to get confident in the field, confident in the home, and I said, hey, I can introduce this to a few people. A couple months in, started introducing it to people, reaching out cold market, and now here we sit, with 320-something thousand submit weeks. So the goal, though, is in agency building is to grow yourself and to help introduce it to people. And as your volume starts to accrue, you start to get more accolades and recognition inside the company. Your first step, sales manager, that's $50,000. Second level is $100,000. When you and your team combine to $100,000 issue paid in a month. Well, this is Al Vomsteeg, Al V. His team did $100,001 something last month in January. So he has earned himself a team name and logo. So that's what I'm getting at here. If you've got big vision for yourself, what's your team name? What do you want to do? How do you want to, be recognized within the company. And so congratulations to Al Baumstieg for achieving the second level of agency building of senior sales manager, earning himself a team logo and putting himself in a position to continue to help people. So great job, Al. A couple final things, and I want to introduce you to our guest speaker. We recently talked about our new 10-10-10 plan, right? 10-10-10 plan. What is that? It's just a philosophy on how to make a lot of money, right? Basically, if you want a roadmap to success, to build a big agency, to build a big team here, you start by producing. Do 10,000 submit a week. 10,000 submit a week. How do you do that? 30 appointments. 30 appointments puts you in a position where you have a significant chance to see people. Most likely, 10 of those people are going to cancel, reschedule, no show you at the door. They're too sick. They didn't hear you because they were out back, etc. So you're not going to sit with 10 of them. So you're going to sit with the remaining 20. We sit with the remaining 20. Say you close 50%, you close 10 of those. Average issue paid, average policy at FFL is anywhere between $60 and $110. Let's just use a simple number of 80. 80 times 12 is $1,000 an appointment closed, 10,000 submit a week. So how do you do 10,000 a week? Book 30 appointments and your family will never look the same. So on top of that, introduce to other people if you want to. You can put agents into contracting, put agents into class. But what I want to talk about for just 2 seconds is we've recently done a hiring training. Me and our top 3 agency managers did a 2-hour training where we break down how to hire, how to have a conversation, text messages to send, stuff to leave, places to recruit. So if you're not ready for that, ignore the last minute. If you're interested in that, reach out to the person that introduced you to FFL and they'll add you to our private hiring channel in Slack and kind of get you plugged into some of our trainings that we do on that sort of agency component of the business. But what's really been happening a lot is people have been getting started, and we're getting people started in 24 hours. And that's a powerful thing because in sales, right? In anything you're interacting with, the emotion is highest the moment you do it, right? You go make a big purchase, you go decide to buy something, right? The endorphins pick up, the serotonin hits your brain, and all of a sudden you feel good. And then all of a sudden, as time progresses, you go, do I really need that thing? Do I really need that new watch? Do I really need that new purse? Whatever, do I really need this thing that's a thing or stuff? And the same thing happens with people deciding that they want to move forward with Family First Life. So they go, my life's not the way I want it to be. I've just met this person who seems to be doing pretty well in business. They're in a great company and it all sounds good, but I want to move forward with it. But then all of a sudden I get back into life, right? And so what happens with people is life comes back in. They go, hey, don't try that new thing. Buying leads, that's ridiculous. Who would spend money to make money? That doesn't make any sense. Spend money to make money? You can't do that, Grady. Right? How many times I've heard that from people and I'm like, okay, go back to your job at Walmart. Okay. It's just people. So what I'm trying to say here is though, when we introduce this to someone, your goal is to get them in contracting immediately and not submit it on the form, but their assurance bay done. And if they're not ready to do it in 24 hours, don't submit them yet. And that's really where a lot of success has been happening. Jen and our office has been reaching out to a lot of our new agents. If you're new here with FFL, I hope with our team, I hope you've met Jen and Jay. They work a lot to do all they can to help facilitate everything they can to help make your contracting easy and help make your onboarding as simple as possible. So a couple of final things, and I want to bring on our guest speaker. It's talking about leads, right? So if you don't buy enough leads, you're not going to make enough money. It seems very simple, right? If you don't dial enough, you're not going to make enough money. And the biggest component that it frustrates me and it frustrates them more is new agents coming to me saying they're struggling. And I'll say, well, what kind of lead flow you got? Well, I bought 20 leads. Okay, well, that's just, that's a below part-time investment, right? $400, 20 leads, you should yield you 10, 11 appointments, which means you'll sit with 6, 7, you're brand new, you may close 1 or 2 or 3, and you're not that good yet. So what you have to understand though, is your success in this business is based on how fast you can get off the starting block. How fast can you chop a tree down? How fast can you move forward and get the experience you need? And we talk all the time, Julius and I talk all the time about get your first 100 appointments knocked out as fast as possible. And if you spend a couple $100 on leads and you get 10 appointments, but then you only sit with 6 or 7, right? 6 or 7 every couple days, you're gonna slit your wrists in a warm bath from frustration before you get to the 100 appointments, because you have to. It's about speed. Money loves speed, right? I say that a lot. And if you move fast through this thing and you just go, hey, if all these other people can do it, if all the people on the leaderboard can do it, if all the people at top producers can do it, if we had 200 people who made over $100,000 last year in this company with the same access to training, same access to leads, what can you do? And that's almost like an internal thing. It's self-belief. I believe I can do it. And if you lack that self-belief, then you need to look deeper within or find your why or find your purpose. Look at your kids, look at where your neighborhood is, look where you live, look at your bank account, and find some deeper thing that goes, hey, everything around me is because of me and I want more, but I have to sacrifice the comfortability that I have in order to get what I want is more. And so that's a big thing. Like you've got to rip the Band-Aid off. You've got to just run right at it. Otherwise you're going to struggle and limp through this business till you quit. And then you're one of those people 3, 4, 5 years down the road when Family First Life is doing $1 billion a year and you're drinking a beer at the bar and you're saying, I remember that company back then, that company, yeah, I was with them. I couldn't make it work, but you know, those leads, I don't know about all that. And you're sitting there and that's not going to be you. Okay. So, but don't be that person. Be the person who goes right at it, gets the knowledge. Like, I mean, I can't tell you many producers that call me like, Grady, you know, how do you sell mortgage protection to seniors? I'm like, have you been to the presentation page? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you watched every video? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's on there. So you're lying to me. And that's frustrating. It's frustrating from someone who's trying to coach someone when the person who I'm trying to coach lies to me. So like, you know what I always try to tell people is like, if you do the things that top producers do, you'll get the things that top producers get, right? I mean, it's just simple life adages. If you want, like, here's something you should write down, maybe even get a tattoo of. Only listen to people who have what you want. Like, that's it. Like, if you listen to anybody, like, if you listen to anybody equal to you, you're going to stay equal to you. And like, you may love them, like they meet good people, they might make good food and you like hanging out and they're fun and they tell funny jokes. But if their lifestyle, and it's not about lifestyle and fancy BS from the mall, it's about the way they can live. If it doesn't equate to what you want, then stop listening to them. And if you're doing the things that they do, oh yeah, I checked out some of those trainings. Oh yeah, I missed a call today. Like this is a business. And if you'll sacrifice everything, which is just time, right? If you sacrifice time now, the income that you can derive for yourself will shock and awe everyone you've ever known. Like, that's crazy. Think about like there are people in our company that started 2 years ago that made $95,000 in January. And that's unreal. Like, people in 2 years can go from zero to $95,000 in a month. And then there's people that say they want that level of success, but they're not willing to watch all the presentation videos. You know, like, you know what, Grady, I'm going to do it. I'm really going to do it, Julius, right? We're really going to do it this time. But, you know, they can't sacrifice, you know, going out. Oh, you know, it's Thursday bowling night. You know, softball's important, right? All this bull crap. And so, like, I'm fired up today because I see so many people having success. And I see so many people who tell me they want to have success, not doing the things that just the successful people are doing. And like, I'm doing it just what they're doing. I'm doing it just like they're doing. No, you're not. You're not doing just what they're doing. And don't lie to yourself and tell me and tell yourself that you're doing what the top producers are doing. Like, when you tell me or you tell yourself that I'm doing it just like they're doing it, you're now giving yourself permission to be below average. You're giving yourself permission to make an excuse and say, well, you know what, they're lucky, or they've got more talent than I do. Dude, all talent is develop skill. And how do you develop skill? Knowledge. How do you develop knowledge? Experience. Talked about this 100 times. So push through the hard stuff, guys. That's it. If you push through the hard stuff, there's an ocean of money waiting for you. So let's go. One final thing I got 2 more things to tell you, and I wanted to bring on our speaker. A lot of people are missing out on one of our best lead vendors whom, let me find it here. I want to show you this. So one of our best lead vendors that most people are missing out on is EverQuote. And I love EverQuote. Why do I love EverQuote? Because you can spend $500 and they give you $500 more of free lead credit. And then if you tell them that I referred you, they're going to give you my referral credit. So I get a $250 referral credit, or any manager. I mean, we'll just say me or Julius or someone. We give our referral credit to our people, our agents. So you spend $500, you're going to be $1,250 of lead credit. Their leads are anywhere from Ashley, what are they? 13 to 17 bucks, 13 to $17, right? And every time a lead comes in, it clicks off the top of your credit. So if you drop in $500 and have now access to $1,250, that's almost like 90 leads for $500. That's a pretty good deal. Now, some people go, EverQuote, you know, I get crap in there. You know what? I get some crap too. but I also get a lot of $200 and $250, like some of my biggest premiums ever have been EverQuote leads, because they're people searching the internet, typing in, I want life insurance, and it takes them to an ad, and EverQuote says, hey, just give us some information. They fill it out, 17 question questionnaire, hit submit, and it goes to you. And all of a sudden you got a hot lead that says, hey, I'm interested in help. So the way it works, like this is an old campaign, but the coolest thing about EverQuote is you can go to the optimizer. So I'm in Phoenix, and literally I can go here and say 10 leads a day, right? Volume, weekdays, up to 27 leads a day I can get if I turn this thing way up. And I just pick all the areas I want, you know? I drive everywhere, dude. See, I live over here, and I go to Wickenburg, right? I'll go to Wickenburg and go run an appointment, right? They need help too. So some of you guys are like, I can't go without 20, 25 miles away from my house. Well, you're gonna stay in the income bracket that people who won't drive without 20 miles of their house will stay in. For me, I'm trying to service people across the state. So, I mean, at least Phoenix, right? That's about it's an hour and 45 minutes to Wickenburg. So I'm putting some time in. What I'm trying to say here though is you can optimize where you want it. Say there's a part of town and you just don't like that part of town. Unclick it, and then now they won't generate leads there. It's fascinating how EverQuote's like, I think they're a $1 billion company, trade on the stock market, and their job is lead generation. That's what they do. They generate leads for P&C companies, which is property and casualty, life insurance, health insurance companies, and life insurance agents. And we have access to them. FFL has the best price in all of EverQuote. Sean, who's our guy, he negotiated the best price EverQuote's ever given. So we get 33% off the street rate, plus the double, plus the referral. So if you're looking for more lead options, which we all should be, because I'm constantly looking at where can I put my money to get a greater return on investment, because every time I spend money on leads, what happens? 5 to 10 times return, 5 to 10 times return, 5 to 10 times return, like clockwork, every single time. Spend money, make money, spend money, make money. So EverQuote's a great place for you to start. If your lead flow is low, if you're looking for other options, I mean, I got people in Utah that have the whole state, and they'll just call them. I mean, that's a cool thing too, guys. You could, I mean, when your skill set gets up a little bit, you can just call them and sell them over the phone. It's an option. You know, I wouldn't say do it locally. If you can drive them, always belly to belly is better, because if you're selling over the phone, it's 100% on price. But if you do it, the right way, you know, if you call them over the phone, you should have good success. So one final story I want to tell you, and then I'll bring on, is I want to tell you about an awesome appointment I had last night. Okay, I had this awesome appointment. Her name is Jennifer, and that's not really her name. I changed for so I go in, super nice, 32, teacher, teacher, and like near like where my kids go to school. So we start talking about that, and I start talking about like public education school, how like, you know, public, private, all these, there's so many different schools now. It's crazy. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to walk down the street and I took the city bus, and now it's not like that at all anymore. We had just a great conversation. She started telling me how her mom passed away. Her brother lives with her. She takes care of him. And we just had like this great conversation. Like I was like, she was single. So I was like, maybe I could like introduce some of my guy friends. Like, I was like, I really wanted to like help this woman. And great conversation, just talked for just the whole appointment, just kind of really got along, and got her an HMS, put it in place. Everything was good. Shook my hand, super grateful. Said, I can't wait till you come back and deliver the policy. Well, she calls this morning and cancels. Why did she cancel? Because I became friends with her. That's the lesson. Your clients aren't your friends. Your clients aren't your friends. Jennifer, I was like, what? Like, and I'm replaying the thing in my mind, and I'm like, I became friends with her. I know the rule. I teach the rule. I wrote the rule down. Don't become friends with your clients. You keep a sterile, professional relationship. I'm here to provide a service. You have a need. If you die, your brother loses the house. If you die, your dad can't afford it. If you get sick, now you've got access to $180,000 that'll protect you, help you pay your bills. This is a very important thing that you need for yourself, for your family. But I became friends with her, and we talked about school and all this fun stuff that's fun in life. And she called this morning and canceled because people don't buy from friends. Lesson. So, everyone makes mistakes. Fired up. All right, without further ado, I want to introduce you to a brand new producer to Family First Life. Come on up. And she's been with FFL for literally, I think the ink is still wet on her contracting paperwork, but she got to work. And what's cool about Miss Deidra is that she is a hard worker, and you'll hear that from her work ethic. You'll hear that from the way she communicates. But she's been with us for, I don't know, like 12 days. And her first 4 days, she submitted 4,900, and her last 7 days, she did 15,800. So she works very hard, and she's gonna say hi.
Hi, guys. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about myself. I'm 21 years old, and I always like to bring that up to everybody because age is just a number. And I started in the industry 3 years ago when I was 18 years old. I came from a competitive background because I was number 4 in state for hurdles when I was in high school, number 25 in state for cross country. So I was always a runner and an athlete at heart, and I actually got a lot of scholarships to go to college. But later down the road, I ended up deciding not going to college because I knew that when I was talking with my dad, I was like, Dad, I don't know what to do because I was almost going to flunk out of high school because literally all my grades were at C's. So I was like, Dad, what should I do? Because I want to get into business, but I really don't think I could even make it through college. So when I was talking with my dad, he was like, well, why don't you get into entrepreneurship? Why don't you figure it out how to do it your way? Because if you really look at average people nowadays, they're going to school, they're getting a good job, and then they're living the rest of their life working. It's like that 40-40-40 rule. You're working 40 hours a week for 40 years to have 40% of retirement. I was like, Dad, you're right. You know what? I'm going to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing so I can be that 1%. So then once I made that decision, I actually moved to Indiana because that's where my mom's at.
Cool.
The reason being is I used to do modeling and acting. So I was a model in Chicago for a little bit, but that ended up not working out because just in that industry, it gets tough. So I ended up coming back to Arizona with my dad, and one of my modeling directors in Arizona asked me to come into the insurance industry with them. And they were in the industry for about 6 months. And all I can remember is when I started in the industry, I had no idea what insurance was. So if you have no idea what insurance is or how it works, don't worry, we'll learn it together, okay? But anyway, so I started in the industry, and all I remember is my dad telling me, never give up. And guys, that's so key in this business is no matter what you're going through, never give up. Because you see top producers, we have over how many people making $100,000 a year?
Over 200 last year.
Over 200 people making $100,000 a year. If you want to be that person, don't give up. So I saw that vision, and I've always seen the vision in the insurance industry, and I'm so grateful to find a company that can show me my worth. Because when I was with my previous company, we just ran it a different way where, to be honest, it wasn't the way that was following my values or the way that I thought it would be to run an ethical business. Because the way that we did it was we'd have to write a top 25 and recruit other people to write a top 25. And we go see their top 25, and I make the sale and I make the money. Now that doesn't make any sense because that's not helping people. That's just helping yourself. And when you come in business, it's not about you. It's about the people in front of you. So just to back it up a little bit.
You're doing great. You're doing awesome. Keep going.
Just to back it up a little bit, guys, don't give up. And that's the key. That's
awesome. So how long were you in insurance before you came here?
So I've been in insurance for 3 years now.
So in those 3 years, you did modeling, you didn't go to college.
Didn't go to college.
And you got started in insurance.
Yes.
Okay. And so just no names, of course, but what was your, how did you do at that previous company?
So my first year, I did awful. Honestly, I probably made about $5,000 my first year. My second year, I made maybe close to 30,000. And then my third year, I actually ended up switching companies and ended up making 90,000.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So it continued to go up, but it was still not where I wanted to be.
That's cool. Okay. And so then, this is a loaded question, but what did you like about Family First Life that has brought you to here?
Okay. So the main thing that I like about Family First is the control. Because when I came into this industry, I wanted to be independent. I wanted to come in it for myself, but not by myself. What that means is I wanted to come in this business where I could have control of my business and make the decisions that I wanted to, but I also knew that I had people surrounding me that was going to help me out to get me to where I wanted to go. Now with my prior companies, I didn't feel that way. just because I felt like I was being controlled. I felt like I was being micromanaged, and I didn't have the opportunity to buy my leads. I actually get excited about that. The fact that I get to buy my leads because I have control of how many people I want to go see and what type of people I want to go see. Like, what is better than that?
There's nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. There's nothing better. Like, you look at like real estate,
Yes.
right? Realtors, they're all in love with real estate, right? Real estate's sexy because you sell a big house and you make a 3% commission, and it seems great. The challenge with that is there's a million real estate agents and 99% of them make no money. And the 1% that make money, they make barely any money. And so it's the top 1% of the top 10% of the top 1% is who makes a bunch of money. So the challenge with real estate is, though, you can't buy leads. You got to cultivate relationships, and that's fine. Great cultivating relationships, but it takes years to get enough of a network of people that know, hey, Deidra, she's great, that great real estate agent. You know what that does, though? People go broke because you can't wait years to cultivate relationships. When you start an insurance, or at least at Family First Life, you get your license, we get you contracted, you buy a batch of leads, in 3 days you're in the field. In 5 days, you got a commission check in your bank account. You've been getting some good commission checks?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's the factor that makes not just FFL so good, but the insurance. Well, FFL is great, but the insurance industry is so great. So, what leads are you working?
So I'm working lead guru and game time.
Okay, and any favoritism or anything?
Honestly, I personally like game time.
You like game time. Now,
Yep.
how does those work? Just people that say, I've never bought my first batch of leads. Give them a game time breakdown.
So the way that it works is you put $500 in, that's about 20 leads, and then they put out an ad on Facebook for you. And then once those people actually submit their request, it comes in real time to your email, which means literally once they fill it out, it's sent to your email, so you can call them right away because you already know that they're on their phone. And then once you call them, you book the appointment, and then you go out and see them.
Okay, so let's do that part now. So how do you book an appointment?
Okay, so I still don't even know my phone script. I have it written down, and it's on my phone in my notes. So
That's the job.
what I do is when I make a call, I put it on speakerphone, and then I just read my script. So I'll say, hey, Grady.
Hi.
Hey, Grady, this is Deidra. I'm just getting back to you in regards to the Facebook post you responded to about the state-regulated life insurance programs that cover funeral and final expenses. It was the one that asked you about your favorite hobby, and you said racing. Do you remember filling that out?
I do.
Okay, Grady. So I'm the local underwriter in Arizona, and I've been assigned to get you the information that you requested. Before I go further, I just wanted to verify a few things. I have your year of birth as 1951. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and your address is 123 North Main Street. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, when you filled out this request, were you looking to get coverage on just yourself, or do you have a spouse in mind as well?
I do have a spouse, yeah.
Okay. And what is her name?
Chantel.
You got it. And what is her date of birth?
3/1/52.
Okay, perfect. Now, are you guys smokers or non-smokers?
Non-smoker.
Okay. So my job is very simple. There are no physical exams or needles required. Instead, they just send me out to find the best program that you guys can qualify for based on your health. Are you guys pretty healthy for the most part?
Yeah.
Okay, no cancer, tumors, anything serious like that?
Diabetes?
Diabetes. Now, do you guys have neuropathy?
No.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. The reason why I asked that question is it allows my information to be more accurate for you guys so I can be prepared. Is that fair?
Very fair.
Okay. Are you guys still working, retired, or disabled?
Working.
Okay, great. So Grady, they have me in your area both today and tomorrow, seeing all the other people who requested the same information in your area. What day works better for you, today or tomorrow?
What time can you be here today?
What time are you off work today?
I get off at 6.
Okay, you got it. Well, I can be there between 7 to 8 p.m. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Do you have a pen and paper handy?
I do.
Okay, if you can just write down my name, Deidra, it's spelled D-E-I-D-R-A.
Okay.
And then write down between 7 to 8 p.m. If you can just give me that hour window, Grady, just because I do have a lot of families to see. I might be running a bit behind. Will that be okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty, fantastic, Grady. Well, I will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow between 7 to 8 p.m. And then you text, right?
I do text, yep.
Okay, what I'm going to do, Grady, I'm going to send you my business card through text message as well as a confirmation for our appointment tomorrow between 7 to 8 p.m. Once you receive that, if you can just text me back confirming that you got it, then I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow between 7 to 8 p.m.
Yeah, okay.
Alrighty, you take care.
I will do. Thank you. All right, it's good. That was good. It was very good. Clap it up. Come on. That was very good. So, a couple things you do in there. This is just coaching. Is it do I have my permission to coach you? Okay. So personally, And we don't try to do same days unless your day's already booked, right? So if it's 3 o'clock and you have 3 appointments tomorrow, booking a same day today is eating into that 7 to 8 hour period tonight when you could dial.
Sure.
So that's coaching for her. If she's already got her day booked the next day and she's like, hey, I just got extra leads, let's see if I can get this guy in tonight. That's what workers do. But traditionally, you don't want to book same days because it takes you out of the field. You got to get ready, you got to drive, you got to get there, you got to present, you got to get home, then you got to go decide at 8:30 or when you got home, do I want to dial for that last 30 minutes? Or when you get out, let's say you get out of the appointment at 8:30 and you're in your car, like you're allowing yourself the ability to not dial because you're like, oh, I just sold it or I didn't sell it, I'm tired, right? I don't feel like it, right? So that's just, traditionally, we try not to book same days for that reason. But if your appointment schedule's full, then go ahead. A couple additional things. I would consider adding, when I'm writing down your name, 7, 8 p.m., yeah. I'd make up a confirmation number.
Got it.
Okay, confirmation number is great because it's instead of when you say go get a pen and paper, right? So say go get a pen and paper. Why? Why do I need a pen and paper?
To write my name and then.
I don't want to write your name down. You know what I'm saying? So can you go get a pen and paper? Yeah. I have to give you your confirmation number.
Okay.
Right? So now all of a sudden there's purpose. When there's purpose, like, I don't need your name, or I remember your name, I hear you, but I'm not going to remember your confirmation number, but I'm not going to try to remember that. So if you say, hey, can you go to pen and paper? I want to give you your confirmation number. Well, what's that for? Well, that's just so we can guarantee you get the wholesale price. Oh, okay. Perfect. Right?
Nice.
So you give them the confirmation number. Then just because, I don't know what your no-show rate is. It was a very strong phone, but some of you are, and me, even when I first started, was not as strong as that. So when you ask additional connecting questions like, hey, so are there any big dogs or gates that I got to jump over to get at the front door? No, I don't have any dogs and there's no gates. Okay, perfect. Now, where are the numbers, John? Are they on the house or the mailbox? They're on the house. Okay, perfect. And then what color is the house? Oh, it's blue. Okay, perfect. So you got my confirmation number. Like you said, Deidra, 7 to 8 tomorrow. No dogs, cool. And your numbers are on the house. Okay, perfect. All right, thank you, John. Like I said, I'll see you tomorrow, 7 to 8. So it's a couple more tie downs. If you do as much as you open, like if you tie it down as much, I don't know what your no-show rate is, but it'll go to 0 if you start adding those a couple more cues on. Does that help? Yeah. Okay. But like when I started, because when I did no confirmation number, they were not home. And so once you tie it down, because you're making them write it down, mm-hmm. which is good, but then give them that extra reason to write it down. Okay. Good. Okay. So phone scripts, money. Now let's kind of roll into your presentation. Like, so you get to the home, Grady's home, blue house, no dogs. Walk us through car to door. Some people have rituals in the car. I don't know. What do you, like people like mindset stuff, right? When you're in the car, what do you know? You know, if you get an argument with your boyfriend or you get an argument with your dad yells at you, or you had a client cancel who you thought you had a great relationship with and you just found out and they canceled them. Talking about Jennifer. You just find this information. How do you set your mind? Like a lot of time producers go, like there's a great movie called For Love of the Game with Kevin Costner. He's a pitcher and he's got this thing where he's about ready to pitch and he's in New York and he goes, clear the mechanism. And that's what he says. And when he's pitching, all of a sudden the whole stadium goes cloudy except for him and the catcher. And it's just like a way where he focuses to throw the ball because there's, 50,000 people screaming at him and he's the pitcher. So it's a great movie. For Love of the Game. Watch it. Baseball movie. So is there anything you do to like walk us through car to close?
Okay. So the most important thing before an appointment is your mindset, making sure that your mind is right and nothing negative is in your head. And what I mean by that is like any distractions, anything that happened that day that was negative and maybe like causing a mental block, get rid of it. And how I get rid of mine is I listen to music. So I have 2 songs that I listen to. You guys might think I'm crazy, but now you're going to start listening to it too and start closing more. So 2 of them, or the first one is Dreams and Nightmare by Meek Mill. And then the second one is Bodak Yellow. Okay?
Okay. Aline, you listen to those and let us know how they
go. But anyways,
they pump
guys,
you up. What do they
exactly.
do? They pump you up, clear your mind, you're thinking of positive thoughts, you're in a good mood, they make you happy.
Exactly.
That's what you want. Something that can take you out of your situation, make you happy.
Yep.
If that's Frank Sinatra or Bodak Yellow, you listen to whatever you need to some music to get yourself going. Yep. Okay, so now we're out of the car dancing.
Yep. Okay. So you're out of the car, knock on the door. And then one of the biggest things that I want to ask you guys is think about it like this. If you knew that you were walking into if you knew that every home that you walked into that they were already going to say yes, what would your confidence be like?
Very high.
Very high, right? So that's my mindset walking into every single home. Every home that I'm going in, they're already going to say yes, because I know that I booked this appointment. They requested me to come out. So when I book that appointment, it's already sold. I'm not even in the home yet, but it's already sold because they're allowing me to come out to them. So when I go to their home, I already know I'm just here to deliver the information and then write down their information and issue their policy number today. So you have to really build your mindset and your confidence before you go into the home, and that's going to prepare everything else. Because when you're in the home and you're more confident than your client, you're taking more control, because whoever has more control in the home is going to be the one selling. If my client has more confidence than I do and more control than I do, then they're going to sell me on why they're not buying today. But if I have more confidence and control than they do, then I'm going to sell them on why they are buying today. So it's the key thing for me is having a good mindset.
Okay. So now we're at the door. We're knocking.
Okay.
Knock, go in. How do you take control from the door? Can you go
By the way, I do knock a certain way.
Ooh.
So a lot of people like knock like this.
Okay.
I personally don't like that. I like to keep it friendly and kind of funny because a lot of people comment on my knock. So I actually go like this.
What is that? Isn't that
it's like a rhythm.
Is that a song?
I forget where it's from, but yeah.
Is that it? Shaving a haircut? I think it's shaving a haircut.
So you can pound as hard as you want. So you could like pound the door, but it's still friendly, and they're laughing about it because it's a rhythm rather than most people knock.
Like the police.
Yeah, so it's just different. It's a different way to catch their attention.
How goes the weasel? Is that it? Thanks, Kate.
But anyways,
this is good. Like these are like new agents, like existing agents. Myself, listen to this stuff. These things work. Why if you do a funny, friendly knock on the way in, it doesn't mean you can't still be in control, but it means that their guard will be down right at the beginning. Yeah. Good work. Keep going.
The main thing is just have fun with this business, guys. It's so simple, okay? This business is not easy because we work, but it's very simple, and do not overthink it. So have fun with it. So I go up to the door. I want to make them laugh before they even see my face. So once I walk into the door, I ask them, I immediately take control. Do you mind if we set up the table? Okay, great. You can go ahead and sit here, Mary, and then I'll go ahead and sit here. And then we sit down at the table, and then I build rapport. I make sure they smile first before I even hop into the presentation. And then I just say,
how do you do that?
So I build rapport, figure out how to relate with them.
Something in the house.
Yep. So you're walking in, you're looking around their house. Maybe they have a bunch of pictures of their family. Then you want to talk about their family because obviously they love their family. Or if you walk in and you see a sports team, they obviously love sports. Start talking about sports. Find something in their home that you can relate immediately and get them comfortable, okay? Once they're comfortable and you see that, then you can move forward.
Okay.
So sometimes literally you don't even have to warm up when you set up the table because you already do it while you're walking in the home. Maybe sometimes it's going to take 5 minutes, but it really just depends on the person that you're sitting down with. So just be aware of that, okay? Customize each presentation to the client that you're sitting down with. And then once you sit down with them and you build that rapport and they're comfortable, you're comfortable, then I just let them know, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and back up and fill you in on exactly why I'm here, okay? And this is my script. It's super simple. So I let them know I'm an insurance broker. I work with multiple different carriers that are only rated A+. The reason being, what this means for you is the claims pay out within 24 to 48 hours. And 2, these are the most affordable prices in the country. So we have 3 objectives today.
Money. Sorry, go ahead.
We have 3.
Sorry, I screwed you up, but like we've been doing this a while. I mean, this is 15,000 a week. This is what you learn. Okay.
Guys, just hop into it. Why are you trying to sell them? Because they already sold themselves. They filled out the request form. So we have 3 objectives today. 1, we're going to make sure this is affordable. 2, we're going to make sure this is comfortable. And 3, let's see if we can get you qualified. So Mary, what my job is to do is ask you a few health questions, see what carrier we can get you qualified for. And then from there, we're going to see which quote we can get you or what quote is most affordable for you. Is it fair if I ask you the health questions? And then they're like, yeah. So I ask them the health questions and I'm like, okay, great. The carrier that I think we can get you qualified for is Americo. Congratulations for being very healthy because this is one of the best carriers that we work with. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up a few quotes just to see what is most affordable for your budget. Is that fair? And then depending on the person, sometimes I just hop into the quotes, but then sometimes I go a little bit more into, well, do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? Because you kind of have to like feel out your client and see if you need to sell them a little bit more on how much coverage they need. Because think about it like this, they need guidance. So when you're sitting down with your client, some of them don't even know how much coverage they want, even though they put $25,000 on their request. So I always ask, do you want to be buried or cremated? Okay, I want to be buried. Or here, I'll just role play with you.
Go ahead.
Grady, do you want to be buried or cremated?
Buried.
Okay. So Grady, do you know how much a burial cost?
I have no idea.
Okay. So Grady, when you pass away tomorrow and you want to be buried, your family's going to have to pay a $15,000 to $20,000 check. Who's writing that check?
My daughter.
Your daughter? Okay. So when you pass away tomorrow.
I mean, I should, but I don't have that kind of money.
Exactly, right? So there's 3 ways that burial and funeral expenses are taken care of. 1 is people save. Now let's face it, Grady, that should have been taken care of a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
2, you can go directly to a burial home and pay them directly. But the only thing is, Grady, you're entitled to that one home. What that means is, let's say that you want to be buried out of state in another city. Unfortunately, you're only entitled to that one home. 3, what most people do at your age and your health is they get funeral and final expense insurance. Okay. The reason being is because it's just like saving. You're putting away a monthly payment to know that when you pass away tomorrow, your family has an immediate $25,000.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So Grady, what we're going to do is we're going to run a few quotes because, again, as we talked about, we want to make sure this is affordable for your budget. So I'm going to run a quote for $15,000, $20,000, and $25,000. Okay. And then you let me know what's most comfortable. And then I run the quote and then I say, here are the options. Most individuals go with the recommended, usually I point at the middle one. Okay. Most individuals go with the recommended because it's usually comfortable for their budget. So they just want to get locked into these benefits. Okay. Or some realize that at their age, health, and habits, they're not going to get any better. So they want to qualify for as much as they can at their age, health, and habits. But it doesn't really matter to the company if you qualify. Do you want to go with the recommended program or doubling your benefits now?
I mean, just recommended is probably I can afford it right now.
Okay, I couldn't agree more, Grady. So what we're going to do, we're going to fill out the application and see if we can get you qualified for that coverage amount. Okay.
Okay.
Now, before I proceed, I do want to make sure that $100 a month is comfortable on good months and bad months.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Let's go ahead and do that. So all they need is your driver's license and a voided check.
Okay.
Okay. And then I fill out the application and then I
want to think about it. This sounds great, but I kind of need to think about it.
Okay. What do you need to think about, Grady?
Well, I mean, I said I can afford 100, but I mean, I think I can, but I just want to think about it.
Okay. So I will let you know, Grady, based on your age, the older that you get, your premiums are going to skyrocket every single year. Okay.
Okay.
What we'll do is I completely understand your situation. And the last thing that I would want is for you to be paying for the policy and not be able to pay it one of these months. Okay. So we're going to get you started on the starter program so we can at least get you qualified on your age and health. Later down the road, you can always upgrade.
Okay. What was the starter one? That was how much?
So what we'll do, we'll start you off at the starter, which is $50 a month. Is that fair?
I can do that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And then I fill out the application.
That was awesome. Give us the open one more time. No, I'm sorry. Clap it up. Clap it up. That was awesome. Well, give us your open again when you talked about, because I cut you off, but because I was so excited, but do the open again. Okay. Because this is good. Like, so for those who are like, I've never sat with humans before and tried to sell them something, you follow this little simple open and you all of a sudden increase credibility, reduce sales pressure.
Guys, keep it simple. That's it.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. So I just let them know, I show them this. Let me go ahead and back up, fill you in on exactly who I am. I'm an insurance broker. I work with multiple different carriers that are only rated A+. So I always emphasize only rated A+. What that means for you, Mary, is 1, the claims pay out within 24 to 48 hours. And 2, these are the most affordable prices in the country. And usually they say, wow. And that's how I know I got the sale, because they're like, wow. So you always want them to you always want to get a response. And then I let them know what my job is to do. We have 3 objectives. 1, we're going to make sure this is affordable. 2, we're going to make sure it's comfortable. And 3, let's see if we can get you qualified. So what they have me do is they have me ask you a few health questions just to see exactly what carrier we can get you qualified with. Is that fair?
Very fair. Okay.
And then I ask them the medical questions, and then I let them know.
That's awesome. That was fantastic. Oh my gosh. So this is great. This is good stuff. See, this is why you tune in trainings. This is why you watch trainings and you dig into FFL America. Give us some more stuff. So we'll leave it there. What is your goals this year?
Goals is to be #1 producer in the company and VP in 90 days.
Those are big goals. Gotta get to work. #1 producer in the company. So Jonathan Borsina did 768,000 last year. You think you can beat him?
Yeah.
What's your
Going
plan?
for 100,000 next March.
You're going for 100,000 in March. 100,000 in March.
Yeah.
This is what you get when you work hard. This is what you get. You get the confidence to make statements like that, and the believability because you've already pretty much done it, and you're just basically getting started. Like your goals are simply a result of lead flow. It's just lead flow.
Yeah.
You get 30, 40 appointments under your belt. There's no doubt. I have no doubt you won't hit that.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame's 400. She'll definitely have a red jacket. VP in 90 days. I'm gonna do everything I can to help her. So help me cheer it up for Deidra. Thank you. All right, guys. So what do you need to do? Buckle down, buy some leads, get focused. I want to send you off with just a message of just continue to push hard. I mean, that's it. We talked a lot already today about this business and what you need to do. The secret to success is simply buying leads and putting yourself in a position where you can win. That's it. If you put yourself in a position where you can win, you will. If you continue to make excuses and say, you know, I can't do it, or you know, I can only afford this much now, then you'll continue to live in a life of now. And if you don't like now, then you have to change to get to where you want to be. So very proud of Deidra, very proud of everyone. We had our biggest week yet. I have no doubt in my mind these are going to be consistent 300,000-400,000 a weeks going forward. Everything we do here is to benefit you. If you need anything from me or my office, reach out to us, and then reach out to your leadership as well. But very proud of you all. Very excited to see where we're continuing to grow, and very excited for March. So you have a great day, everyone. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now.